thank you so much for joining us this evening for the 2020 Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League final between Cork and Limerick at the LIT Gaelic Grounds. The Irish Examiner's broadcast of this match is with thanks to the Munster Council and to the sponsors of the competition, the Co-op Superstores. And I'm delighted to have alongside me the CEO of Dairy Gold, the man that's making it all possible, Mr. Jim Wolfe. Jim, we were just chatting there beforehand. It has been an incredible competition this year.
It has. I mean, this is our fourth year involved with the Munster Council, and this competition has gone from strength to strength. I mean, the numbers have surprised us, both the numbers attending and the numbers watching your live streaming. It's been superb. I mean, almost 3,000 people in Dungarvan last Sunday week, 3,500 in 6 Mile Bridge last Sunday, which were, you could say, for the semi-finals. And the interest is phenomenal. I mean, these are only warm-up acts to what is the National League and the Championship, but yet the interest is huge, and people want to come out and see what's happening, looking for new talent. It's a really important competition for GA followers.
From a Dairy Gold perspective and the Co-op Superstore perspective, what exactly do you get out of a sponsorship like this?
Well, I think the GA and the cooperative movement is interwoven in every parish. We cover 4 counties of Munster. Our members, our shareholders, our milk producers and our customers are by and large card-carrying members of GA clubs in their respective parishes. And that connectivity is there, and they're our customers, so we put something back in that's of interest to them. And this is a competition that fits well with the co-op, with our customers and with Munster Council. And while there's often criticism of early season and pre-season and all the rest of it, these teams will be looking for challenge games. If there wasn't, in the context of football, the McGrath Cup, or in the context of the hurling, the Co-op Superstores League. So it gives structure to it, and it gives deep interest for debate, and being associated by our members love to have us associated with the GA and that connectivity with Munster Council.
Okay, well, we've seen such great teams in action here on the playing fields of Munster in the last couple of weeks. The team that is Dairy Gold growing from strength to strength as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're heading into a new decade, and the context of investment. The decade just finished has been one of our best decades in the context of more than 300 million invested in plant and equipment for the dairy expansion side, and of course the associated investment in Co-op Superstores now, where we're doing 5 new builds at the moment. We're reshaping that business, regenerating it. Yes, there'll be probably less stores in the longer term, but there'll be a different class of store to meet the evolving needs of what is a very good customer base in Munster. So that connectivity, that retail connectivity, is really important, and the investment is going in the likes of Raheen, in Middleton, in Carrigaline at the moment. Coffee docks coming in there, points of destination for the customer, and that's really important that we get that connectivity, and that the customer can give it back willingly, if you like, prefers to go to a point of where supporting one's own, which is the cooperative movement. It's owned by the members for the members.
Okay, Jim, we're going to have to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight, and as well, thank you for your support of our live streaming of the matches throughout the course of this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League campaign. Now, throw-in is less than 10 minutes away. It's been a remarkable night here in Limerick. The Limerick footballers capturing the McGrath Cup title just about 20 minutes ago with a 20-point to 16-point win over Cork. We'll be talking a bit more about that a little later in the broadcast. But now we're turning our attention back to the hurling. And during the week we caught up with the 2 camps with the Limerick coach, Donal O'Grady. But first, let's hear the thoughts of Cork selector Ger Cunningham.
Ger, how's the pre-season gone for you?
Yeah, I suppose this would be our 3rd match, Trace, in the pre-season. This time of the year, it's all about just trying to get the fitness levels back up again, and we had 2 games in the Munster League, and looking forward now to the game against Limerick at the weekend. So tonight was from a point of view of getting it was getting another game under our belt. We have 21 players going off to play Fitzgibbon Cup over the next 3 to 4 weeks, so that's going to be fairly fragmented from our point of view, so it's going to be difficult enough trying to mind those players over the next 3 or 4 weeks, plus trying to balance their college commitments and also trying to play with Cork with the National League starting in 3 weeks' time. So it's been difficult from that point of view to try to get everyone together. But so tonight was a good purpose. It was a good game of hurling. We were very keen to play the match in the context of trying to remember the great Canon O'Brien, who was involved both with Cork and UCC for a long number of years. So it was we were very keen, along with the college, to get the game played. So the schedule is tight. It's very early on in the new year trying to get games played.
Thanks to Donald O'Grady and Ger Cunningham for their time in the course of the week. Anthony Daly has joined us here this evening, managing to find a way through the crowd there, Dalo.
Unbelievable, Colm, yeah. Jeannie, I tell you, there's some thirst out there for action, I tell you that's for sure anyway, because even this week now was at the Harty Cup quarter-final. We're delighted to have 2 Clare colleges in the quarter-final for a long time, and the crowd at that was unbelievable. And then the crowd that's here tonight, I'd say they'd be tempted to open the terrace shortly if just had to go back out to the car there, and I just couldn't believe the amount of people that are filing in. So it really has captured the imagination. Obviously the Clare Limerick match drawn a massive crowd to 6 Mile Bridge last week as well, so obviously good old rivals here, and looking forward to it.
You were just talking to Jim Wolfe, the CEO of Dairy Gold, there just beforehand. Great credit must be due to both the Munster Council and to Dairy Gold for backing this game, giving it proper promotion, getting involved in a live stream event like this.
Absolutely, Colm. And look, you're involved at this level in management, I'd say, and you're going to be trying to be ready for the first round of the league. So there's no better preparation than a night like tonight here to see a couple of new lads. Limerick strong enough, team named, Cork strong enough. Although they are down the colleges lads who are all playing tomorrow, they're still strong and they still put on with the crowd that's here, you can't but help show off your best on the night, and I think that's what we'll see here tonight.
Okay, well, just mention of the teams there, we'll get the graphics up on screen there in a few moments' time. Limerick, one change from the team which was announced on Thursday. Adrian Breen is out. You were surprised with that news, given his performance against Clare in 6 Mile Bridge. No bad man though to be bringing in his place young Aaron Gallan.
No. Well, in fairness to Adrian, I presume, Colm, it was an injury of some sort or a bit of a strain or something that he picked up last week, because he was excellent last week, and when we saw him before Christmas here against Tip, really impressive on the night, and again he backed that up in 6 Mile Bridge with a great performance. So I can only presume he's out, but to be able to bring in Aaron Gillan, then that's unbelievable, really, and it really makes Limerick look really, really strong.
Okay, we're going to have a moment's or minute silence now for former intercounty referee Pat Lane of the St. Senan's Club. Warm round of applause for Pat Lane, who refereed at the highest levels of football, including the 1987 All-Ireland Senior Final between Meath and Cork, and the 1980 All-Ireland Minor Final between Kerry and Derry, and the 1986 National Football League Final between Laois and Monaghan. The rain beginning to fall as the national anthem is being played. We'll have a very quick look, Dalo, at the Cork team. No changes from that on the team graphic. We should have up on screen there in a few moments' time. Again, as you mentioned, they're suffering a lot because of all the Fitzgibbon games taking place tomorrow.
Yeah, one look at the UCC team alone will tell you there's a number of big hitters there, Colm, that would be lined out, I presume. But what a chance again for Kieran Kingston to have a look, and great to see Colm Spillane particularly back from his injury as well, top player. But great to see Sean Toomey, Jack O'Connor, Brian Turnbull. I want to talk about Turnbull up along. These are nights now that he should be really relishing here. Good open pitch, good surface. So it's a great chance for them to have a good look at their players, see who's up to it, see who's not. They know they have certain type of players to come back in as well as real options for the league.
But a massive balancing act, though, Dalo, at this time of the year between your third level and your county commitments.
It's massive. That is the big conundrum. We see the trouble up north to Colm this week, with Donegal in the McKenna Cup. So that is the problem, all right, and trying to finalise a bit of joined up thinking would help, I'd say.
Okay, from the early start anyway, it looks like Luke Mead at centre forward has gone in at midfield for Cork, and will keep pace with the changes as the game goes on. Darragh O'Donovan, or should I say that is Gillan, I think, that got the shot off at the end. And that one trailing wide, and first puck out of the night for Patrick Collins.
Yeah, and that'll be an intriguing battle there. Gillan and Cadogan will be a rewind to the Munster Championship last year, when you'd have to say Cadogan was on top on the day, and really crucial to Cork's victory, massive victory for Cork on the day. Got them out of Munster in actual fact. Okay, great interplay here. Will we be looking at the first score of the evening? Yes, we will, and it's David Dempsey, the man that applied the finish there. Nice interplay there, and the opening score of the night coming in the opening minute of this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash in the LIT Gaelic grounds. Yeah, lovely interplay. Barry Nash, Tom Morrissey, Dempsey then on the loop, and just a pop pass straight out of the Paul Kinnerk coaching manual, and he'll score those all day off his strong side. Okay, you mentioned Turnbull there before the match there he is in possession, swirling his way past two defenders, and showing a nice jink of pace there, opting to go back as far as Conor Lehan, and the man all the way from Middleton knows exactly where the posts are, and pops over the equaliser. Yeah, great start for Brian Turnbull, marking no less an experienced man as Tom Condon, so that's a fair test of him, and he did very well there, carried the ball, and then was sensible enough not to try an impossible shot and feed it back to Lehan, who, a bit like Dempsey, will nail those most of the day if he gets them. There's Sean Toomey just underneath us there, a dropping ball in and around the square. Goalkeeper Barry Hennessy gets a hand to it, but greasy ball spills over the crossbar, and that pushes Cork into a 2-1 lead as the rain, which was forecast, is coming down in buckets now. Yeah, it was lovely driving from West Clare, Colm, but we all knew there was rain promised. We were hoping it'd hold off, but it is what it is. Surface is good, that's the main thing from a hurling point of view, and no big wind.
Aidan Walsh, the man in possession there, the man from Kanturkey's cousin Ryan, alongside him at midfield tonight. In as far as Lahan again, Lahan off his right, and a fine score from out on the right wing.
Yeah, and I suppose Dan Morrissey already will be saying I have to get a bit tighter on this guy, because you just can't give Conor Lahan space. I mean, if you've any hope of stopping him, it's tying him down and being really tight to him. And that roving centre forward role might be just a role that would suit him for Cork this year.
Back to what we were saying, Dalo, in our game here before Christmas, in terms of these being the ideal scenarios to try out players in different positions or different test scenarios.
Absolutely, Colin, and you've always a few things in your head, over the winter there. You're the manager. Another score for Cork, I'd say.
Turnbull did all the hard work, and in the end Jack O'Connor was the man that applied the finish. But we mentioned Turnbull 2 or 3 times already in the opening 3 minutes.
First that ball, and that's 2 great assists by him. But that's what you would be doing, Colin. You have a few scenarios. Would this guy work out? Obviously, you're looking now at Cork. You're saying Bill Cooper. Is he the answer for centre back for them? And they've stuck with him through the Munster League. The Co-op Superstores Munster League has been very beneficial for them that way, and very interesting test for him here tonight.
Route 1 effort there, coming all the way from distance from Dermot Burns, and it clicked off the upright, and in the end the ball is deemed to have been a free out and quickly taken out as far as the aforementioned Bill Cooper, the man who starred for Achille in the county final. He was playing midfield that day, man of the match. But as Dalo said, maybe he's a serious consideration for Cork at the troublesome centre-back position. Looked to be a foul there, Dan Morrissey being punished, and it's going to be a free end to Cork.
Yeah, bit of a harsh one. But it is always one that's, especially early in the year, Colin, you find it's always debatable as the steps, and some referees are deadly, they're clamping down on it, and it kind of fades as the year goes on, we find, don't we, we even saw with the Corofin lad in the football there, the amount of steps he took from the Nemo game, that was the first thing you saw on social media, was how many steps.
Whatever the cause célèbre of a certain day or a certain season is. Chris O'Leary, the man from Valley Rovers, just close to halfway. He's a great striker of a ball, and has the man from Ennishannon. Yes, he has, and he's pushed it out to 5 points to 1.
Yeah, and one of his trademarks, Chris O'Leary, was outstanding when UCC won the Fitz last year. He nailed a couple of massive frees for them that got him over the line, so he'll be hoping that this is his chance to be nailing down his place in the team.
Yeah, great young talent, but as you said, is expected to make the push on, and will 2020 be the year for him. The rain continuing to fall here as David Dempsey offloads out as far as Tom Morrissey, and Morrissey from out on the left wing has driven the ball wide. The man from Ahan impressed against Clare there in 6 Mile Bridge last week. He scored 4 points, but that performance a distant memory in the opening 5 minutes here, as Cork have opened a 5 point to 1 lead. Will we scratch that down to 5 points to 2?
Yeah, David Dempsey certainly has the radar in anyway, Colum. Brilliant work by Graham Mulcahy, selflessly, herring across from his corner to block down Colum Spillane, and turned over the possession to himself, and again didn't take on the shot, popped it back to Dempsey, and Limerick needed something just to get him going.
Okay, and Cian Lynch is another man that's well able to deliver if required, and he's done it again from about 60 yards straight over the black spot. And it's amazing, Dalo, in the space of 60 seconds from being 5 points to 1 down, it's now 5 points to 3.
Yeah, well, that has been the trend in the last 2 to 3 years in the hurling column. There's no such thing as we're going well and we've a cushy lead, it just can turn in a twinkle, and we know that. We've seen people were talking about the last 2 years that the 9 point lead was dangerous, so 5-1 early stages never really matters to these teams. They just keep plucking away, stick to the game plan, and they get the results, and we see Limerick biting back.
Owen Cadigan busting out of defence there and running headlong into Darrow O'Donovan's shoulder, and that's going to be a free out. The man from Douglas though bounces back up. Well, needs a bit of running repairs on his left boot, but that was a hefty frontal challenge. But referee Kevin Jordan from Tipperary, no free accruing, or a free accruing, but no card or anything like that accruing anyway from
just
that one there.
Darragh Donovan leaving down a marker there, saying to Cadigan, you're not going to walk out of full back here. You see Darragh straight on the ball here from it. Won't be too upset.
First time ball by him in as far as his corner forward into Galan. Unfortunately, the footing letting Galan down on this occasion. Things getting a bit greasy now with the rain coming down and a bit of afters as well. And poor old Owen Cadigan in the wars for the second time in the space of 60 seconds.
There's no real fear of him on that front, I'd say, Colm, to be fair to him. He's nothing if he's not hardy, but the two of them, I think there's a little thing going on there, and it's dating back, as I said earlier, to last year's
Munster championship.
And, there'll be no love lost there. We saw a little bit of afters after the free was awarded. Great play by Cadigan, didn't lunge in on Gillane, waited and tackled at the right time, won his free.
Chris O'Leary gets the free off despite slipping at the point of contact, but it's eventually worked its way down with Conor Lahan opting to go back, looking for options from his wing back Damien Cahalane, but it's cut out. Cahalane though is desperately trying to make up for that error, has done so in good help from Colm Spillane through the hands there as far as Lahan, and Cork attacking, and it's a ball in, but it should easily be taken up by Dan Morrissey, who opts to go back to Richie English, and Limerick going through the hands and going down here in front of us as far as Cian Lynch. Lynch claims that one superbly. Little dink left, little dink right, gets the shot in, dropping in on top of Cadigan and Gillane. Gillane is the man that's picking it up and has picked it up, but has picked it out over the end line, and that ball been waved wide. And a bit of a swing back there from Gillane, catches the back of Cadigan's leg. Goalkeeper Patrick Collins out as well too, to have some words with the Limerick man.
Yeah, I think it might have been Chris O'Leary was caught with the little flick back. It's very long, much alongside the umpires as well. Colm, there's a lot of niggly stuff going on around that square there, so I wonder will the referee take action here.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's Cadigan's orange boots I can see here. Yeah, so it looks like it was Chris O'Leary was the man that went down, but a wild swing back by Gillane, catching O'Leary, the wing back, on the back of the leg, and he's gone down, and the referee has gone in to consult with his umpires.
It's definitely
And he can count himself lucky, Dalo, because
I wonder would it be two yellows, Colm? He kind of called the two of them in on top of him, really, didn't he?
Yeah.
Kevin Jordan, and I think he might have been saying it was both. You're both at it. I know Gillane did give the flick back, but they are both at it. Like, let's face it.
We'll have to check that at half time in this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League game. Great clearance out. It's out with Aidan Walsh going across the front of the square, and well taken down there, and great effort, but
Great work by Richie English at the other end of the field, blocking down Seamus Hardy after he made a great catch, and they worked it quick. Cian Lynch worked it to Robbie Hanley. First time Limerick do that, like they give it early, they'll work a couple of passes, and Gillane, trademark Gillane, he must be one of the best players in the country, and when a fast ball has come in like that, he just has a brilliant hand, and he caught it Cadigan for once, and made the catch, and he doesn't miss from there.
and wasn't slow to celebrate it.
Each other down there.
I think if we had a second camera tonight, I think I know exactly where we'd be placing it. The fact that if we need to work the admission more quick sideline there, take up the 250 says all was it did, accident rather than design. This game being streamed live on Facebook Live, with money for the sponsors of Superstores. It doesn't matter if you're anywhere in Aperture or Peru, if you're in Shanagari or if you're in San Francisco. stuff. We'd love to get your feedback today. We'd love to know your thoughts on the match currently. They've only 2 weeks to go to the start of the league. Limerick will be opening their account against Tipperary, and it's Waterford who Cork will be facing. Galan on the ball on the 14-yard line. Still Galan being held up, manages to get the pass across, but is fouled, and the referee has called it back. David Reedy's shot will be called back as well, but Galan only one thing in his mind, and Sean O'Donoghue had no option but to hold him up and stop him in his tracks.
Yeah, and like very, very evident from both sets of players that work rate is hugely important to this, both sets of management. And you know, fellas might be saying we'll save it for the league, but there's no sign of that here. You know, the work rate is incredible. Does David Dempsey set up that chance for Galan, and as you said, Galan just puts the head down and heads for goal and draws the free. And yet today, but interesting to see how he goes, you know, over the duration of the game.
Scored 112 in that match down in 6 Mile Bridge against Clare. The crowd there that day, Dalo, absolutely staggering, and again I think shows, isn't it,
will draw the crowd in, because they're thirsting for games after Christmas as well, I think.
Okay, ball going to ground there. Eventually it's taken up, and it's back with Cian Lynch after a bit of an ugly spell there for a few seconds. But it's held up there, and Cork desperately trying to squirrel that ball out. I see Reedy standing over it, but eventually it's gone through the lines, gone through the hands, and Cork trying to get it out as far as midfielder Ryan Walsh, but gone to ground again, and it's back with Cian Lynch here in front of us. Nice little dink of a pass by Lynch. Was aiming for Tom Morrissey, but overcooked it slightly, and Cork here in front of us with Damien Cahalane. Powerful man Cahalane. He's got 4 players around him, but manages still to offload, and Aidan Walsh powering out as far as Luke Meade. Luke Meade in towards the corner forward position, but a bit too high there for Jack O'Connor. Gone in over his head, and it's Limerick who will come again through David Reedy. Rain continuing to fall down. Just looking at the flags here, whatever bit of a wind that is here tonight is favouring Limerick in the opening exchanges. Now we're out there from distance, and that is an effort from close on halfway. Sean Toomey, the man all the way from Courcey Rovers, putting that one over, and a fine score from Sean.
Yeah, Sean has made a great start, second point from play, and another fella, impressive under 20 and under 21 over the last couple of years, and he's one that'll be looking to get into the start for Kieran's first league game, and he's going about it the right way.
Richie English being put under a bit of pressure there, but manages to find Tom Morrissey. Bit of a crossfield ball, and we saw how that cost Tipperary so badly the last night we were here before Christmas, when a ball like that ended up in a goal for the hosts. But Richie, capable operator as we know, started the All-Ireland final, of course, in 2018 against Galway. In fact, there's himself, Diarmaid Burns, Dan Morrissey, Cian Lynch, Tom Morrissey, Darragh O'Donovan, and Graham Mulcahy of tonight's team that all started in that All-Ireland final in 2018. The effort there is from Aidan Walsh, and the point is there from Aidan Walsh. Has been shown quite well in the opening 15 minutes tonight, Dalo.
Yeah, both Walshes in midfield. It's interesting. Aidan, I suppose, there was a lot of talk, over and back from the football, and that he never really kind of kicked on, I suppose, from the 13-14 time. So he's having another go at it now, and interesting to see. He has the ability, there's no doubt about that, and a great score from him there.
And ironically, a key member of the Duhallow team as well in the Cork Senior Football Championship this season, when they were defeated by Nemo Rangers. Shot from distance there from Diarmaid Burns there in front of us. No stranger to long range efforts. Worth the pop.
Yeah, well, I don't know. John Kiley seemed to have ironed that out of his game a bit. Those long ones he goes for now, when he nails them, of course, the place erupts. But they've a couple of bad wides there. Tom Morrissey had one there, indulged himself a bit, and so did Diarmaid when it's 1-on-1 inside with Gillan and Cadigan.
Okay, Conor Lahan is the man in possession here in front of us, holding it up, looking for an option. Has he found one? Yes, he has. And it's off the left hand side, and it's coming from Turnbull, the man from Douglas. and that is a fine score by him.
Yeah, and really Cork have been the dominant team. Limerick working very hard, but only for the goal they would be in fairly serious arrears. Cork just a bit more efficient on their shooting and their options, and the movement up front is very good.
Okay, Tom Morrissey goes to ground. Reinforcements being called on, but it's Corkman and it's Turnbull that has it out as far as Cahalan. Cahalan looked to go left, has switched it, aiming in on top of Jack O'Connor there. But Limerick back in numbers. It's cornerback Aaron Costello, I think, that's eventually clearing up the mess down there. And that's going to be a free out. And it's the man we mentioned there, Dermot Burns, a few minutes ago, who's going to come up to this one. Rain thankfully starting to ease off on this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash. 1-3 to Limerick, Cork 8 points. Long range effort there from Burns, but the defence on top on this occasion. And ball down in front of us again towards Burns, and back with Cian Lynch. Here's Lynch dropping it. It's going to drop a bit short. Goalkeeper Patrick Collins from Ballinhassig out to that one. Anthony Nash, of course, on the bench tonight. Taking too much out of it is Ryan Walsh, and chopped down there, and it's going to be a free end to Limerick, but I think the clearance put the midfielder under pressure on that one.
Yeah, he probably should have taken these few steps, Colum, and he tried to flick it past Robbie Henley nearly over his head, and in that scenario there, that's as good as handing over a score. You don't try those things when you're in the middle there, maybe out over near the sideline you might chance it, but look, he's young and he's learning, I suppose, but and you could see by his own reaction he knew he'd miscalculated the situation.
Back to David Reedy, who has the free taking duties, as Dalo said, is continuing with the free taking duties tonight, but has been told to take about 5, 6, 7 strides back from where the free was awarded to where he had placed the ball. And you should still think that a man of this calibre, that those extra few yards won't matter. And indeed that is the case, as he slots it between the posts and adds to his tally tonight, and pushes it to a level game 1-5 to 8 points. Collins with the puck out. This is the second outing of the week, by the way, for the Cork hurlers. They had the Callan O'Brien clash against UCC back on Tuesday night. UCC winning that one. Hugely entertaining game, very high scoring game, and it just shows the great respect that the legendary Cannon is still held in down in Cork. Yeah,
and both, very much with Cork, obviously Cork hurlers, but UCC stalwart for years and years. And how many Fitzgibbons did he win? I think it's untold, really. Would have gone through a lot of the greats, Nicky English and co. So great bloke. I knew his brother Dermot well. I used to work in the TSB bank, Fado, and Dermot was one of the main men. There was very little banking done when you met Dermot. It was all hurling.
David Reedy there converting another free there from a Limerick perspective. It's Owen Cadigan on the ball here, and another link with the great Cannon tonight is Chris O'Leary of Valley Rovers, the Cannon's home club down in Ennishannon, and where he is buried. Back with Turnbull again. Has shown well tonight, and there comes Walsh from distance, but just misjudged it slightly. There was a runner coming in and a Sean Toomey, but probably about 2 or 3 yards too far on it, and but Toomey making the right moves anyway to be in the position if required. Nice piece of handling there by Darragh O'Donovan to get down and grab the puck out from his goalkeeper from Hennessy, and nice interplay in here, but being held up, but funnels it way back to Cian Lynch. Cian always seems to have that extra few seconds on the ball. Reedy in as far as Galan turning left, turning right, onto his left, eventually taking the shot, and that one has gone wide, despite the cheers that were just bubbling underneath us here in the stand.
Yeah, probably have gone to Hawkeye if it was in Croke or Thurles. Colin, but he did really well to win the ball as well. I mean, there was no daylight between the two of them when it came in, and he just managed to snatch it somehow from underneath Cadigan, and should have really scored by his own standards.
Ball just went past Conor Lahan there, and it's the other end of the field that it's gone over from Tom Morrissey, but he's driven that one wide, and that was a bad miss from a pretty decent scoring chance and position for the man from Ahan, who pressed against Cork in the championship last year. Would you believe Cork are going for 3 in a row tonight against their hosts? But all importantly, Barry Nash at wing back was playing centre back the night we were here the last night. Is this back to what we were saying, just trialing fellas and moving the pieces around?
I think so, having a look. That's where he came on against Kilkenny last year and really impressed us at left half back, and he's been superb. He's been the Limerick standout guy, I think, in the early stages of the game. He's won nearly every ball that has gone down that wing, and gets a great score there as well. A forward by nature, I suppose, but really settling into a defensive role and probably give a headache that you'd like to have to John Kiley over the next few weeks.
Another man that's been impressive as well too is Dermot Burns there. That was a fine piece of fielding from him, and as you said, then he has that in his locker as well too with the long range frees.
Yeah, even from the first one we did here against Tipcullen, the three Patrick's Well lads alone to come in there. I mean, it's like if a Premiership team could go off and buy 3 of the best players in the world. That's the type of player you're dealing with. They're 3 top class players, and showing it again there. Burns, massive score from a free.
No need for Hawkeye on that one, straight between the posts, and that's pushed it to Limerick 1 goal and 8 points to Cork's 8 points. And plenty of cheer here for the home fans at the LIT Gaelic grounds. It's back with Luke Meade, all the way back to Cahalan. Every time he gets on it, there's about 3 Limerick fellas in on top of him. Bill Cooper worked it back though, and Cahalan was helping him out. Still Cahalan opting there to go short in as far as that was a lovely, delicious piece of skill there to knock the ball out of Turnbull's grasp. Referee blowing it up as a free. Didn't look to be from this side.
It was Graham Mulcahy actually way back there. It's a corner forward's tackle, maybe call him. But he got the ball, but he got a little bit of Brian Turnbull as well, you'd have to say. So I don't think it deserves a yellow, but it's getting a yellow, I think. But Turnbull is fine. I think he's been really impressive so far, Turnbull, I have to say.
But back to what you say about the Limerick work rate, to see your corner forward Graham Mulcahy all the way back, and it was from this vantage point a lovely piece of skill, but maybe his momentum just carried him in to the young corner forward from Douglas Brian Turnbull, and a free being awarded, and that free will be taken by Conor Lahan, hoping to add to his tally. 1-8 to 8 points to score in the LIT Gaelic grounds. You are watching the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League final here tonight, and we're broadcasting right around the world on Facebook Live, on the Irish Examiner website, the Munster Council website. Thanks to the competition sponsors and to the Munster Council for making this happen. Wherever you are watching anyway, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the game and your opinions as well on our job up here, and maybe on Seamus Harnedy down there, who's after nailing that one, and it's now a 1 point game. 1-8 to Limerick, 10 points to Cork. I was just mentioning there, Cork going for 3 in a row, Dalo. Won the league game, won the championship game last year that you mentioned, and now chasing the 3 in a row. But then again, we had big hopes for Cork in the football beforehand. I know not your area of expertise, but just give people a sense of the celebration, the celebration that was here for Limerick. How important it was for a Division 4 team to win a bit of silver.
Absolutely, and having the double header, Colm, is what's made that. I mean, if that was played out in Rathkeale tomorrow, how many would be there? And look at the crowd that's here. And it might be, for a lot of the Limerick footballers, fellas like Danny Neville, who was outstanding for the part of it I saw, fellas like him, it might be one of his biggest victories, if you think about it, here in front of and lifting silverware and that kind of thing. And I think that's great for Billy Lee to start of the year. He'd be thrilled to get that under the belt facing into the league.
David Dempsey working it back as far as Darragh O'Donovan. I know Donovan's getting the final shot off, but he's driven that one wide. But the buzz that was here, you would swear it was a Munster Championship night.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Limerick footballers, Clare footballers, Tip footballers, they don't get too many nights where they can beat the Corks. I know Tip have a good record against them, but that they would have seen that as a real chance for them to do something early in the year and bring that momentum into the league. And they will have great momentum going into the league now. And I know myself, if you're trying to get something off the ground, it really is important to try and pick up anything you can, get on a winning roll, get momentum. Success breeds success, I think, and they'll be thrilled with that.
Okay, some great interplay going on here from a Cork perspective. Chris O'Leary is going to apply the finish. Will it be a scoring finish? Umpires look to one another there and have waved that one wide, but some great play back in defence by Cork to get it out as far as O'Leary. Diarmuid Burns at wing back. Nice ball by him, and as far as Morrissey, he's centre forward, and a lovely run there off the shoulder was Cian Lynch. Trademark Cian Lynch, but unfortunately the finish not the trademark.
No, and it's the one thing that has let down Limerick so far. I mean, they're playing their usual game, crowd in the middle, ferocious work rate, the short passes and then the long one, but the shooting radar has been just off from a few lads, Cian and Tom Morrissey. You know, Tom won't go for this one, lets it in.
Okay, and chasing after it is Owen Callaghan. Galan has given up on the race, it seems. So Callaghan has plenty of time and plenty of options to go back to his goalkeeper, who in turn goes to Damien Cahalane here in front of us. And Cahalane opts to gobble up a few yards as he sends it in, but telegraphed all the way, and Tom Condon knew that was coming and did well at the second attempt to clear it out as far as Tom Morrissey. Morrissey first time in towards the corner forward position, and that's going to be a free, and there was pulling and dragging going on. Colm Spillane was the man who was pulling back Graham Mulcahy, and no doubts there in terms of the foul, and it's going to be a 21-yard free, and you'd expect David Reedy to come up and take this one.
Yeah, very well spotted by Kevin Jordan. He's up with the play, and there's no doubt most defenders are at a bit of that Colm this time of the year, especially.
Not in your case back in the day, Dalo.
You definitely wouldn't be caught for it nowadays, that's the only thing. But look at he was having a tug out of Graham Mulcahy. He was just trying to get out in front, and well spotted by the referee, and well deserved free in.
And there goes Reedy, and that pushes it to 1-9 to 12 points to 10 points to Cork. One thing we were just saying, Dalo, the standard of refereeing the matches we've been at, very sensible, and I think that's what players want. Yeah,
and look at that, long may it continue. I mean, we've seen the ridiculous sort of stuff in the soccer, you know, with the VAR and the way it's gone. Like, it's just we like to see this sort of open game.
Okay, Ryan Walsh goes as far as Conor Lehane after a booming run there by Aidan Walsh, and the effort in the end has gone wide, and that was a nasty one.
Yeah, you'd be looking at the one Aaron Gillane missed, and you'd say he was nailed on to score, and equally Lehane, another one you don't expect them to miss those ones.
Shot there from distance, and that one has gone wide as well, and there's a hand up, a mea culpa there from Darragh Donovan after Tom Morrissey had done the hard work. But as you said, Dalo, there's been a few of the opportunities it looked like it was easier to score. Poor puck out there from the goalkeeper, and Tom Morrissey says thank you very much, I'll have some of that, and puts it right over.
Yeah, they're not going to keep missing them, Colm. That's the thing. The quality players, maybe a little bit rusty, all right, and tough conditions, but that was a gift from Patrick Collins, really. And the short puck outs are great, I suppose, if they come off and you can build from the back. And we saw Limerick putting one astray as well that Cian Lynch dropped. So just I suppose keepers are trying to do the right thing, but it's a dangerous area to turn over possession. That's the one thing you would say. It probably results in a score.
Yeah, I suppose the other issue, back to what we were saying, teams chopping and changing, Dalo, making a goalkeeper's life that bit more difficult.
Yeah, like there's no such thing. I mean, like in our day, Colm, as well, you'd know who you're marking before the game, and you probably were on him for at least half the game if he was doing anyway on you, or you were doing anyway on him. But not everyone's interchangeable now in every team, aren't they? No one stays at wing forward or centre forward, or midfielders go to wing forward, corner forwards coming deep. It's constant change. You have to be really able to play 4 or 5 positions, being honest.
Wild swing there from Aaron Gillane. I'm glad that nobody was on the receiving end. It's found its way to Brian Turnbull. Opts to go back, and have we a score here from Cork? Yes, we have, and that was vitally important. Sean Toomey, the man from Corsi Rovers with the yellow helmet, I think that's his second of the night. But again, he's third, sorry. Yeah. And great, as you said, by Turnbull to have that awareness, not to try and take on the score, not to try and do the impossible, look around. And
that would have been one of the features of his underage play, Colm. That's what he was, the scorer in chief. He was the go-to guy, but he really sensible tonight, laying off the ball superbly. and well able to take his score if it comes along. But really making great runs and giving options for the Cork midfielders.
Okay, Seamus Harnedy has come back out to help his midfield colleagues. That's Aidan Walsh wearing number 9, brought to ground, but manages to get the offload, and the shot in the end coming from Conor Lehane, and the man from Middleton has found the target. But great work by Harnedy originally to get that move going.
Absolutely, and there's a go. There's not a word about that shot once it goes over the bar. Luke Meade, off camera, I'd say, for any cameraman, had made a fantastic run right into the 21 and was screaming at Lehane to pop it into him. But all's well once it goes over the bar, and the scoreboard is ticking. But Lehane had made an incredible run, and no one had tracked him really, and there was a goal on, I think.
Fine shot there from Tom Morrissey. Has he pulled it off? Yes, he has. As you said, Anthony, it mightn't come off sometimes, but eventually that talent will come to the surface.
Yeah, and there's so much psychological work going on as well. That these fellas, they don't worry about a miss like that. They don't let it affect them. Tom Morrissey will shoot away. If he thinks the shot is on, he'll go for it again. He won't ever be a case of, I'm after missing one now, I better lay it off. He'll take on the shot if he thinks it's on.
Just on that, Dale, back in the day when you would have been playing, would there have been certain marquee forwards that if the first 2 or 3 weren't happening, that was them done?
Yeah, I think for sure. And we probably operated in an age where, psychology was never looked at really. We were lucky to have Gerald Nan, who had probably a bit of that without even knowing he had it. He certainly had it. But I would think that a lot of forwards were looking over their shoulder, maybe saying, are they warming up a sub after having 3 wides? But I think that's well gone out of the modern game. They learn so much from psychology, from rugby, from golf even. There's a huge thing of missing putts in golf that you just, you never missed it. Erase the mistakes is the great phrase they use.
I'm sure you wouldn't have been in any forwards here telling him that the bench was looking a bit light waiting for him. Anyway, bad clearance there, and it's taken up by Mulcahy, and Graham Mulcahy off his left, and that one has gone over the bar, and that another Cork mistake leading to a score, and that's pushed Limerick back into a 3-point lead, 112 to 12 points in this, the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League final at the LIT Gaelic grounds here this evening. Bill Cooper takes a tackle or two, but stays upright, works it back to Sean O'Donoghue, across to his other cornerback, Colm Spillane. And as Dalo mentioned, wonderful to see Colm back on the field of play after so many injuries. Sean Toomey back there. And it's been worked all the way back towards, it was aimed for Damien Callahan, but it was cut out by Cian Lynch. And here comes Gallan again. The hand goes down, the shot goes off, and that one is over the bar.
What a score. Brilliant work by Cian Lynch. I have to give him a lot of the credit. Intercepted the pass from Turnbull once he was intercepted, tried to get it back to Damien Callahan, and Lynch just didn't go for the short one that time. 1-on-1, and they're isolating Callahan inside, and it's very difficult for Cadigan. He's such a good player. If you give him, there's no cover there, and if it goes in like that, he'll win most of those balls.
Hard to believe there's only 2 minutes of additional time here. This first half has absolutely flown by, and from a Limerick perspective, it's been some first half with Graham Mulcahy just adding another score there for them, and that's pushing it out 114 to 12 points.
And just like we were talking about the psychological stuff, Colm, they just got their mojo. 2 rapid scores from Tom Morrissey, score from Gallan, score from Mulcahy again there. Just in an instant, it's just a constant stream of pressure and work rate, availability. I'm on, give it to me, and they shove it out to a 5-point lead in an instant.
Again, punishing a few Cork errors there in devastating fashion. Turnbull back on his feet, did very well there after a little clash with Aaron Costello. Still Turnbull being held up by the defender, opts to go back as far as Harnedy. He's got a runner inside him, but he's going to go himself. There goes Seamus Harnedy, and that one has gone over the bar, but he had a runner if he had decided to go that route, but the man from St. Ita's happy to go himself. But Turnbull again did very well.
He's shown in front every time. I think Aaron Costello has moved over on him now because he was winning a lot of ball off Tom Condon, and that's a mark of where he was going. That Limerick said a little quick switch there, swapped the cornerbacks, and I think you can absolutely put that down to Turnbull.
Okay, Luke Meade fouled there, and that's going to be a free there to Conor Lehane was offering his services there, but it's going to be Chris O'Leary from the Valleys who's going to come over from his right hand posting to just under us here on the Mackey stand, 65 yards out from his own goal. This surely will be too much of a test of his capabilities. Dalo not so sure. Here comes the strike. We're going to track it all the way. He's done it.
Over the black spot column. Look, I just saw him in last year's Fitzgibbon. He nailed a couple of massive, and they were real pressure ones as well. He's a lovely style of striking as well. It's very orthodox, but that's sometimes what you love in a free taker. That there's not too many moving parts. It's all, we alluded to golf earlier on. Like there's not too much moving. He's a sweet striker, I have to say.
Crucially, that's brought Cork back to within 3 points as the clock ticks on there towards the half-time break. Luke Meade was running on there, but the ball breaks down, and it's back with Harnedy helping out. A bit of a clash there between Cian Lynch and Sean O'Donoghue that got the crowd excited. Back with Chris O'Leary, nice ball by him to Ryan Walsh. Walsh holds it up, but it's going to be dropping in on top of Sean Toomey down there. Is it Jack O'Connor? And it's kind of rolling along the ground. And Toomey has a bit of a strike out at the goalkeeper, and himself and Barry Hennessy are having a little tete-a-tete down there on the edge of the square. And the referee coming in to restore some calm there. In fact, he blows the half-time whistle. And a very, very entertaining half-time. First half, it's Limerick 1 goal and 14 points. Cork 14 points, so 3 points between the sides there. So, as I said, Dalo, hard to believe that first half has whizzed by on us. And plenty of talking points. Let's Aaron Gillane.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't expect. I saw him on the subs list, all right, when the team was named, and didn't expect he'd be starting. But obviously, a little injury, and he gets in, and he's really looking hungry and sharp. And as I said, that Patrick Swell trio into a team is a massive. They're central guys as well, and they've been really sharp all three. You'd have to say Cian Lynch instrumental in an awful lot of the scores.
Yeah, isn't it just a touch of his class? He always seems to have that extra second on the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's to me. I think I was asked before the start of the 2019 season who was the best player in the country, and I went for Cian Lynch. I suppose you don't win the All Ireland, and you're looking at maybe whoever wins it, and you're probably talking Shamie Callan or someone, or TJ Reid or whatever. But he's a brilliant player. He's a joy to. I think people come in here tonight, they love when the likes of a Cian Lynch is playing, because they're so expressive, Colm. He plays hurling not as a kind of a choice. He's like as if he's in the back garden. That sometimes he's try stuff. He's not afraid to try stuff, and I think the crowd love that. And he's so quick and so skillful as well. Then, not alone does he try it, but most of the time it comes off. So Cork very good as well. I have to say, young Turnbull, Sean Toomey, 3 from play, Chris O'Leary. Lads that are back. Great battle between Cadogan and Gillane, obviously. Which we're all enjoying. Gillane shading that at the moment. Cadogan started off the better, so a lot to like. I like Bill Cooper centre back. I think he's been very effective, and the Walsh is maybe in and out midfield, and Limerick probably slightly edging it at midfield. Darragh Donovan went to midfield fairly early, I think, and Cian Lynch gets a free roll then, and they like to do that. Yeah. Get Lynch on the ball as much as you can, let other people mark, and I think that's working out for him. That's why they're slightly ahead, but really it's only the one chance of a goal that came. Gillane stuck it, and that's the difference between the teams. Both teams enjoying little periods of dominance, and then the other crowd come back, and even we were mentioned Limerick went 5 ahead, but now Cork have it back to the goal at the break. So ebbing and flowing, I suppose, and interesting to see who comes out on top. Okay,
Harnedy coming out, drifting out to midfield there a couple of times, did well, but is it a kind of a robbing Peter to pay Paul? He comes out and you don't have a big target man inside?
But I always prefer him centre, I have to say, Colm. He to me, he's always a natural centre that you can go along with the puck outs. We've seen Patrick Collins going short with great success a number of times, but twice kind of they didn't work out, whether it was Patrick's fault now or the guy who he's hitting it to didn't control first time. But when Harnedy's at 11, Colm, it really does give you that option to go down the middle. He's the type of player that will win clean ball, but even if he doesn't win clean ball, you very seldom see the centre back, Dan Morrissey in this case, catching clean ball off him. Very rarely. And when you have the likes of Lehan floating around there, and we've seen young Turnbull, Toomey, when you have those guys around him, then they know that when it's going down the middle long, at least there'll be a chance of a breaking ball.
You seem to be very impressed with Toomey and Turnbull.
Yeah, well, Toomey hasn't been as involved in the play as Turnbull has, but he's got 3 strikes at the goal and nailed the 3 of them. And if you're looking for forwards, you're looking for scoring forwards. Turnbull, I've been really, really impressed with. I've watched him up along. I know how good he is. I've seen him destroying what I rate very good cornerbacks at underage level. But it always takes a little bit of time for these guys to find their feet at senior level. And what I've seen from him tonight, though, you'd know there's a lot of coaching going on in training. You know that, Brian, you don't have to score it.
you make the space for someone, and lads, we've got to get runners going at this guy because he's really quick, he's really skillful, and he's good vision, and that we've seen that all the way through. I think the one ball he put astray, but you can put that down to the excellence of Cian Lynch as well, really seeing that the pass was coming and intercepting it.
Okay, Dylan, we're going to take a break there. That's where we're going to take a small little suspiug from our analysis here from the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League final. It's Limerick who lead 1 goal and 14 points to Cork's 14 points. We will have full exclusive coverage of the second half in about 10 minutes time. Plus we'll have a man of the match as well too to be discussing in about half an hour. Will it be a Cork man or will it be a Limerick man? Stay with us. All of those answers will be coming up in the next hour. And welcome back to the LIT Gaelic Grounds. It's Limerick 1 goal and 14 points. Cork 14 points. We're just looking through some changes there in the team. Before we get to those, just want to mention a few people around the world who are getting in touch. We have to shout out to all the Gerald Griffin lads watching in Dunnings and in Watford. I was going to say Watford. Liam Murphy watching in Glasgow. Wayne Lee is in Hong Kong. The Conway Lamberts are shouting for Cork from Conway in Arkansas in the USA. So let's see, can we get some more exotic locations in the course of the next half an hour. Dalo, you've spotted one or two changes?
Yeah, I think the big one is Patrick Horgan is in, I think, at half time. I think he's in for Jack O'Connor now. You'll excuse me if I'm a little bit out on these now, but I don't see these guys. I don't see Jack O'Connor, and Shane O'Regan is in, and I think that's for Ryan Walsh. He has gone to midfield. Or he's gone to wing forward, and Luke Meade has gone out to midfield with Aidan Walsh. But I suppose the big one is Hoggy back from the honeymoon, and he's back in to the thick of it tonight. No honeymoon period there when you're back with the Cork Hurlers. You're on.
And Limerick will be on high alert for a man that scored 1-9 in the championship meeting last summer. So we'll keep you updated on that. Conor Lahan, though, is the man that looks to be standing over this free here at the moment. And we'll have a look around and see if there's any changes on the Limerick team. Lahan, though, doing the needful, and that's pushed it out to 1 goal and 14 points to 15 points. And Dalo's calls being confirmed here in the background by the PA system, and doesn't appear to be any changes on the Limerick team. But great to be able to call a lad like Patrick Horgan off your bench for the second half of a Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League final, or indeed any game. Anyway, chance coming up here for Limerick. It's in with the centre forward Morrissey, and it just trickled across the front of the goal. Galan was on his hand, literally on his hands and knees, trying to nudge it in, and it just went past everyone.
Yeah, and in the context of the 2020 Co-op Superstores Munster League, Colm, that's probably maybe the biggest moment in it. I mean, I don't know how Tom Morrissey, he sort of swiveled to hit it, and maybe he lost his balance slightly, but he didn't make proper contact, and it flashed across Patrick Collins' goal, and massive chance of a goal. Brilliant work by David Dempsey in the build-up. Fantastic run. Could have shot himself and popped it inside, but no score coming off it, which is a poor return.
But all importantly, Limerick still having the ball, and in the end the shot being taken by David Dempsey, but there was a free accruing. It looked like there was a stroke on Dempsey, and Bill Cooper being called aside there by the referee, Kevin Jordan from Tipperary, and a yellow card going to the centre back, the man from Youghal, and that's going to be a free in. And it's going to be David Reedy that's going to take that one. But as I said, Morrissey took the shot, and not alone then was that going across the goal, but Galan was literally on the ground. If it had just glanced off him, it would have rolled into the net.
If he had missed it by a bit more, Colm, Galan would have got it, but he just pulled it about a foot outside the left-hand post as we were looking. And Galan was just another foot away, I think. But Galan was only expecting the net to bulge, I'd say, or maybe if the keeper made a brilliant save, that he'd be there to parry it back in. But it was a great chance. They get the point from the free, and Bill Cooper gets a yellow. So advantage Limerick still, but Cork just, get a few balls up to Horgan, they could be right back in the game.
We look forward to seeing the impact that Patrick Horgan is going to make. Shane O'Regan is the man wearing number 19. The man wearing number 9 is Aidan Walsh, and that's a fine strike by Cantork's Aidan Walsh. His counterpart Ryan making way, as Dalo said, at half time.
Yeah, great score by Walsh off the strong side there. If he's striking off the left, he's very, very accurate, and that's his second score of the game, I think. And we're as we said, he's back and he's full time hurling, and we're looking for him to really jump up and say, I'm going to be on that Cork team.
Okay. Limerick opting to go short on this occasion and finding it out as far as Robbie Hanley. And centre back there, Dan Morrissey coming back to help out, but it's intercepted not once but twice. We've a runner here down the far side, Shane O'Regan calling for it, still calling desperately inside. Luke Meado hasn't picked him up, and instead it's coming down towards Patrick Horgan. But a bit of rustiness showing there as Dan Morrissey clears it out as far as brother Tom. Great block down there, and it's back from Cahalane and working it out there towards his corner back to Sean O'Donoghue, and O'Donoghue off his left, and that one has gone to the right and gone wide. But for a moment there it looked like Limerick were about to move up the field, but comes to naught in the end. And great ball though out from the goalkeeper, and it kind of stumbles between Barry Nash and the Cork defender there, Chris O'Leary. But it kind of falls again, and it's 3, 4, 5 fellas attempting to get it up. Eventually it's taken by the Limerick full forward David Reedy. A hit and hope effort, but there was plenty of hope in it, and willed over the crossbar by the Limerick fans.
The Mackie stand roar came up there, Colin. We haven't heard a whole pile of it tonight. Maybe they were just still coming down off the high. The McGrath Cup, I suppose, was ferocious cheering near the end of that, but that one really got him off their feet. A brilliant score by Reedy off his left, backed himself, might have got a bit of criticism if it went wide, such was the angle, but backed himself and committed to the shot, and great stroke over the bar.
John Kiley offering some words to his back room there just below us. We may have a Limerick substitute coming on there shortly. Anyway, the ball coming in there from Tom Morrissey, and the foul being committed by Colm Spillane, and it's going to be Reedy again just on the edge of the exclusion zone that's going to step up and take this free. The breeze that was there in the first half has died down a slight bit, and that's the breeze that Cork had hoped to have in the course of this second half here this afternoon. So we'll keep an eye down below us. 2 or 3 of the Limerick bench been called out off the bench, and they're running up and down on the sideline there, including a certain Gearóid Hegarty amongst them. So we'll keep an eye on all of that. Really doing the needful there, and that's pushed it out to 117 to 16 points. If you're joining us late this evening, just to let you know that the Cork double isn't on, because the Limerick footballers beat the Rebels a little earlier this evening. 2016 was the final score in the McGrath Cup final, and that shot there from Conor Lahan going wide. So massive celebrations there a little earlier for Billy Lee's men, who will be competing in Division 4 of the Allianz Football League in 2 weeks' time, with the Cork footballers opening their account against Offaly down in the New Páirc Uí Chaoimh. The first game of the New Páirc Uí Chaoimh, well, actually the second game, the first weekend of the New Páirc Uí Chaoimh surface, with the Lady Footballers of Cork making history, playing there earlier that afternoon. It's the first time, would you believe, that they've ever played inside in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, and they'll be debuting the new surface down there. David Dempsey is the man in possession, being blocked, but comes back off Cadigan. Still Dempsey. He's got a man outside him, that's David Reedy. Nice little pass out to Reedy, and that is a fine finish by Reedy, despite the protestations of Sean O'Donoghue calling on the umpires to wave it wide. But you have to say, some great hard work there by Dempsey and Reedy to get that one over.
Yeah, great work by Dempsey. Got blocked down when he shot himself, but he didn't panic, try and shoot again. He held it up, and a brilliant run by Reedy. He really made it by making an angled run, which all David Dempsey had to do was pop the pass out to him, and he was in a no miss situation then for the point. But credit to him for the work from Dempsey and the movement from Reedy.
Colm Spillane and Chris O'Leary getting in a bit of a tangle there, but eventually Spillane regaining the ball, and it's going to be O'Leary who's going to take the resultant free, about 45 yards out from his goal. The man from Valley Rovers, known for his long range striking, has opted to go short to his centre back, to Bill Cooper. But Cooper's shot is easily taken up there, and Limerick come again with their corner forward there, Graham Mulcahy, back to his midfielder Robbie Hanley. First time ball inside past Damien Cahalan. Out comes Galan, and hits hard there as Colm Spillane has just discovered the bits and pieces of hurleys flying through the January air here this evening. But it's gone all the way down the far end of the field, and that's going to be a free out. It looked to be a free in, if anything, for a bit of a tug back there, but getting nice and spicy here, Dalo.
Colm Spillane didn't exactly hand Aaron Gillan back his hurley there after that pull. He threw it about 20 yards away, and I think the Cork bench, Diarmuid O'Sullivan in particular, having a right chaw off the referee there for that free. He felt that, in actual fact, that Sean Toomey was being fouled by Barry Nash, but the free goes the other way, but just goes to show the strength of the Limerick panel. Gearóid Hegarty coming on for Tom Morrissey. It's a fair it's a like for like substitution, if you like. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put any of the two of them ahead of each other. And also, I think Aaron Gillane has gone off as well.
Sean Finn for Aaron
Aaron Costello, Sean Finn. Yeah, Aaron Costello's doing nothing wrong. Like really, had a tough job having to pick up young Turnbull after the first few minutes, and but nice to be able to bring on Sean Finn, all star.
Yeah, it's like I'll show you Patrick Horgan and I'll match you. So kind of poker by the managers here tonight. Anyway, let's get back with the action. Things spicy now here tonight between Limerick and Cork, and that's a fine effort from the wing back Dermot Burns. We spoke about his long range shooting a little earlier tonight, and there's a real buzz here in the LIT Gaelic grounds tonight in this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash. It's the final. Limerick leading 119 to 16 points. If you are watching us tonight, welcome. Thank you very much for your company. We hope you're enjoying the hurling. We hope you're enjoying the commentary. We hope you're enjoying Anthony's analysis of the action down there. Let us know where you are. We'd love to hear from you, and maybe your thoughts on where Limerick and Cork are going as we look ahead to the Allianz Hurling League and the Munster Championship, which I'm sure will be one of the most anticipated in years, with all the great storylines coming up with the All-Ireland champions of Tipperary facing Limerick in their opening game in 2 weeks from tonight up in Semple Stadium. Right, back to the action here in front of us, and it's well cleared down there by Shane O'Regan. Unfortunately, it trickles past Turnbull and is taken up by Sean Fenn. Then putting his centre back Dan Morrissey under a bit of pressure, but Morrissey's strength enough to get him out of trouble, and that's going to be a free out there. But I don't think Dan will be thanking Sean too much for that post match.
No, not the greatest pass, but he just showed on Brian Turnbull there that, hey kid, the big time is here now. He was out in front of him there, and there was a little nudge before the ball ever came, and that's what Sean Finn will do. He's a great reader to play, and can hit that front, and he reads it so well.
And as you said, Dale, on a night like tonight, things like that are invaluable for the likes of Turnbull.
Absolutely, he's got to match up to these sort of guys, and that's what they'll want. And I think it's kind of a huge 6 or 7 minutes now for Cork, because they need to get back into the game. Like Limerick pushed it out to 6, so can Cork respond? Because if Limerick get the next couple of scores, you'd say the game is going away from them. Limerick look way more up for it in the second half, I have to say, whatever John Kiley said in there.
Okay, Bill Cooper was firefighting down there in front of us, and it's back with Shane O'Regan. But it's lost again, and it's Barry Nash bursting through. Still Nash takes a heavy tackle there from Aidan Walsh. Walsh coming right across, had him in the sights, and he was taking him to ground, and I'd say he's going to get a card, carte bouille, for his trouble there, and another free resulting there. And
it was very clumsy by Aidan Walsh, with great play by Barry Nash. I mean, he's really, really excelled at left half back, and that pace that he brings to that half back line, extra pace there. I mean, he was in no man's land when he got that ball bottled up, but he has just got that pace to get himself out of trouble, Cullum, every time he's in trouble, and he just shot forward there, and really Aidan Walsh kind of took him down as opposed to letting him get off a shot. So, but Reedy has been so good on the frees, you'd imagine it might be punished anyway.
Okay, here's Reedy just about 5-6 yards outside the 45-yard line. Barry Nash is the boot returned, and is returning to his usual defensive duties. And as Dale predicted, David Reedy doing the needful here tonight. He's been pretty unerring, hasn't he?
Oh, he's been absolutely not as involved in the play now as the last couple of games, but got a great point there a couple of minutes ago, and he's been deadly on the freeze. Like I said, Gillane probably saying, "Will I get back on the freeze here if this fella is making his place on a regular basis?" And he's been seriously impressive in this league, and he'll be hard pressed to take him off the team for the first round of the league.
Dan Morrissey there was the man who got the clearance away out as far as Cian Lynch, but Aidan Walsh read the intention and did so well. Oh, and that was a big welcome to Limerick hit there on Seamus Harnedy coming in from the cornerback Tom Condon, and in the end it's going to be a free out.
Yeah, he absolutely lined him up, Tom Condon. I think he saw the pass coming from Aidan Walsh and knew Harnedy was going to collect the ball. Alright, he was too far back, but he said he's going to have to turn and run with this, and Tom met him clean on clean, shoulder to shoulder, but Tom had all the momentum, and the Limerick crowd responding to that, one of their favourite sons, knocking down Cork's kind of go-to guy up front and getting the free as well.
Our teeth are chattering up here even with the impact of that one. It's at 120 to 16 points, and it's a free, as I said there, for Limerick, being taken by the wing back Dermot Burns. Powerful effort by Burns in around the edge of the square. Oh, went through about 2 or 3 bodies, a set of legs, and the Limerick corner forward, I think it was Graham Mulcahy, that was waiting at the end, and he didn't even expect the ball to come all the way to him, and was kind of surprised and shocked as it flew in his direction and went past him. Anyway, from the puck out, there was a bit of pulling and dragging there, and the free being awarded against Sean Toomey.
Yeah, but again, quick puck out, and these Limerick guys are so alert to it. For Patrick Collins, a sharp puck outs, that they're just, you know, they're like Hegarty was under that high ball when it came in. He missed it initially. No worrying about that. Get back out. He intercepts the puck out and wins the freeze, fouled by Sean Toomey. And you know, that's what's separating Limerick from a lot of teams at the moment. Their willingness to work for each other.
You're watching the Irish Examiner's coverage of the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League final in the LIT Gaelic grounds, with thanks to the Co-op Superstores and to the Munster Council as well. If you're watching the game abroad, we'd love to hear your thoughts and your viewpoints wherever you are. The more exotic, the better. And that's a fine score again from David Reedy. He's just a machine in terms of his dead ball accuracy tonight. And it's pushing Limerick 121 to 16 points ahead of Cork in this final here of the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League. So will it be a Limerick double here tonight? We'll wait and see. Pushing and shoving going in there, and it's Owen Cadigan who's trying desperately to get it up and is failing so far, and eventually has to resort to his footballing roots to puck it out. But back to what you were saying, it's just a mark of the Limerick hurler, the Limerick hunger, should I say. Not alone had he Gallant to worry about, but he had David Dempsey in on top of him as well. Cian Lynch, lovely little fade by Lynch. He's got it out as far as Dara Donovan. Still Dara Donovan, and that is a fine score. But Lynch faded, looked like he was going to take the shot, went for the hand pass again, and a wonderful score.
Yeah, we mentioned him at half time. He's just so clever in the play. He took a nice little slap as well, Dara Donovan. I think he's calling in the 2 boys. This is not his first time speaking tonight, Cadigan and Gillan. It's an ongoing battle in there, and we're going to see plenty more of it. We're guaranteed in the National League and in the Munster Championship, and who knows later on the year as well, these two. But I think Limerick are giving Cork a little bit of a lesson at the moment on work rate. I know Cork are missing, I think Ger Cunningham said, anything up to 21 players because of the Fitzgibbon Cup, so maybe they're more depleted. They certainly are, I suppose, if you look at the 2 lineups. But Limerick's work rate is something that Kieran Kingston will be looking at, and he'll be saying to the players when they sit down and do a bit of video analysis on this, we've got to match this if we're going to beat them.
Okay, well, February 23rd, just make the date in your diary, is the night that Cork will be hosting Limerick in Páirc Uí Chaoimh in the Allianz Hurling League. The sides, of course, contesting Division 1 Group A. Tipperary and Limerick are playing on January 25th. That'll be the opening night in Simple Stadium. I think that game will be getting underway at about 5 or 5:15, because with the football being televised as well between Dublin and Kerry that night. And then the following day, January 26th, it's Waterford v Cork down in Walsh Park in Waterford. And Waterford GAHs must be very happy with the extra few bob that they received from the government this week in terms of their pitch development down there. Robert Downey is the man wearing number 23, not in the official match programme, but he's down there in front of us, and looks like he's going to be introduced in a few moments' time. Chance coming up here for Cork, but being swallowed up there was Shane O'Regan, and being fouled as well. Dalo not so sure was it a foul, but it's going to be a free in anyway. As
he probably was being fouled, Colin, but he certainly took too many steps as well. But which is, I suppose, up to the ref to decide maybe which he gives the benefit to the attacker, I suppose, most times. And a welcome free in for Cork, a chance for Patrick Horgan to get a puck and get into the game. Robert Downey, as you said, coming on, and it's Luke Meade that's coming off in front of us. He's gone back into the back line, and Damien Cahalane has gone to midfield.
Okay. Well, as Dalo said, it's the first chance opportunity for Patrick Horgan to slam it over, and he does that, and it makes it 122 to 17 points here at the LIT Gaelic grounds. Another sub being warmed up in front of us, another man wearing number 23, and that's Gary Spillan's Mark Quinlan, and we'll see who will be making way for him in a few moments' time. Sean Toomey did well there. To Bill Cooper, crossfield ball, and it looked like it was being read, and a lovely bit of play there by Barry Nash to take the pass from his wing forward from David Dempsey, and that one has found the target. But what wonderful interplay. Bill Cooper was going crossfield with the pass towards Chris O'Leary. Well read there by Dempsey, and all the while then Nash making the move to cut it out.
Yeah, huge credit to Dempsey. I've been really impressed with him as well tonight. He's really a selfless runner. He's just covered so much ground, and while he's a great point scorer, that time he did all the graft. Barry Nash then overlaps some wing back, as we spoke about him, and he's having kind of a night that you expected him to slot it over once he got the pass.
Mark Quinlan just on. The man that's coming off there is Aaron Gillan. Is that good management?
I think it's superb management by Mr. Kiley. I think he said to himself, enough is enough here. My man is on a yellow, and we'll
the league is 2 weeks away.
Yeah, we'll let that battle commence when it has to commence. And I think John just said, let's get him out of there, lads. And looks sharp tonight. I have to say, we're really looking forward to him during the league.
And he got a nice little pat from his manager as he left the action there. So as we said, it's Mark Quinlan from Gary's Plan is the man that's on.
And he will be having a chat with him afterwards as well, Colin, about getting overly involved. A little flick, you'll probably get away with it maybe tonight, but maybe if that's picked up in a National League game and
more cameras, more analysis.
Like he has been caught for one of those, and it's just, I suppose, fellas get annoyed if they're being pulled and dragged, and he certainly was being pulled and dragged. I'm not doubting that, but he just has to control that, and I suppose punish by putting it on the scoreboard, which he's so capable of doing.
Okay, well, it's back there with Aidan Walsh, and was fouled as he tried to build up a head of steam. Bill Cooper will try and quickly get the free underway. Cork desperately trying to, he's handing over the duties there to Chris O'Leary, so we can expect a long-range effort from the man from Valley Rovers wearing number 5 tonight. More people getting in touch from around the world, and we'll make mention of those after Chris O'Leary strikes this. Another powerful effort from the man from Valley Rovers, and another accurate effort from the man from Valley Rovers, and that's made it 123 to 18 points. Now Joseph Lavey is in Seattle, Washington watching us. Brian O'Donnell is in Michigan. Matty Daly is in Tyrone. Fenton Ryan is watching from Regina in Canada. So he's the latest, by the way, if you're wondering, on the weather forecast in Regina in Canada. It's minus 20 there tonight. Bit balmier here, about 8 degrees, and that was Robbie Hanley, I think, that got the final touch. No, it wasn't, sorry, it was David Dempsey who got that point there, and keep Limerick well in command over Cork. So keep the messages coming from around the world. Seamus Harnedy from distance, and that's a fine score by Harnedy, nudging into the lead that Limerick have created. 124 to 19 points in the LIT Gaelic grounds in this, the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League final here tonight, being brought to you in association with the Munster Council and the Co-op Superstores. Our thanks to all involved for that. Some great interplay there with Darragh O'Donovan opting to go. Nice crossfield ball by O'Donovan, and the shot coming off in the end off the left hand side, and that is a wonderful score as well too, coming in from the corner forward Graham Mulcahy, who's been a bit quieter than usual tonight, Delo.
Yeah, I suppose he's just getting warmed up for the season. We haven't seen that much of him yet, but look, I mean, what a 2 seasons Graham Mulcahy's after. A lot of people would have said maybe when John Kiley come in, would he be a sweep of a change, and would Graham Mulcahy be one of the victims of that change, because he was sort of inconsistent. But what a corner forward the last 2 seasons. All-star when they won it in 18, brilliant season last year, a real leader for them now, and I think a great score there by him. Great interplay as well. Limerick really, I think if you look at the Co-op Superstores Munster League, Limerick are ahead of the posse at the moment. I have to say that. Comfortable win against Tip here before Christmas. Comfortable win in 6 Mile Bridge. Clare getting a late goal, and looks like it's going to be a comfortable win here. I know if Cork could rattle the net or something, we might get back into it, but Limerick, it's a warning out there for everyone. They're back with a vengeance, and they mean business.
Conor Lahan taking the free, awarded for a foul on Brian Turnbull by Sean Fenn, who picked up a yellow card for his troubles. Interesting, Dalo, is it that Cork are interchanging their free takers?
Yeah, well, I suppose though on a night like this, when Huggy doesn't start, Cullum, Kieran has to say to somebody, you're the free taker. So, and like Lehan is a very good free taker anyway. I mean, you watch any Middleton game, he's dead eye dick really from free. So it's an absolute luxury to have one team with David Reedy and Aaron Gillan, which could hit frees, and the other with Conor Lehan and Patrick Horgan. It's a weird enough turn of events that you see that happening, but such is the skill level in the modern game now that you regularly see that.
Mention of skill level, Keane Lynch has been showing it so much tonight. Goal chance for Mulcahy here. Still Mulcahy on the 14-yard line, bottled up, but he hasn't given up. Still Mulcahy back to David Reedy, and Reedy is going to tap that one very calmly, very coolly over the bar, but all set up by that man Keane Lynch in front of us. And just to mention another sub coming on wearing number 22, and that is Brian O'Grady, and coming off is the cornerback Tom Condon, to a rapturous applause from the Limerick fans here tonight.
Yeah, Tom Condon obviously a favourite here, and I think it's John Kiley just saying to Brian O'Grady again, Brian, very good underage, only 20 years of age, was lucky enough to have a few dealings with him in the underage setup there. He's a great bit of stuff, and speed to burn. We'll have a good bit to learn, and he's actually coming in there on Patrick Horgan now, so nice way to kick off and get a feel for the big game and the inter-county scene.
Wonderful piece of skill there from Keane Lynch to keep the ball alive, and Limerick recycle with Dan Morrissey out to his wing back Barry Nash, and it's finding its way to Dara Donovan into the corner forward position, but on this occasion Owen Cadigan equal to it and holding off the talents of David Reedy. He's wing back Chris O'Leary, and going in as far as Bill Cooper in his centre back posting tonight. Will we see him there come the league or come the championship? Chris O'Leary, first time effort in there, was directed in towards Patrick Horgan, but Morrissey cutting out the danger, and they're going through the hands very quickly there with Diarmaid Burns right across the field there, and well taken up by David Dempsey. Out to the other wing forward, Dara Donovan. They're zooming the ball right across the field. It just shows how confident they are here tonight. Back out with a nice hand there by Hegarty, and the finish being applied in the end, and what a finish it was by David Dempsey, and the referee calling on a helmet change. I think one of the players has lost the helmet, and of course in the new rules it's Aidan Walsh. Play has to be held up until the proper helmet is in play, so that's been swapped out, green for green. The logistics team there on the Cork bench having a ready replacement as we're heading into the final stages of this, the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League final. 10 points between the sides, 127 to 20 points, and it's really all Limerick, Dalo, in the last couple of minutes as the ball played in over Mulcahy's head. He's in a bit of a foot race there, but wins that one, getting the better of the cornerback and flipping it over the crossbar of Patrick Collins. Colin Spillane couldn't match him for speed, and we were saying Mulcahy was a bit quiet tonight. He must have heard us.
Yeah, he has burst to life. I mean, he tried to go through for the goal there early on, and even though he was blocked, he still recovered the ball, got it back to David Reedy in point. That time he did it all himself. As you said, Colin, he showed tremendous pace and just all one movement, and the pick and the strike. Fantastic to watch for any young corner forward out there. This is exactly what you want to see from a top corner forward.
Okay, speaking of top corner forwards, that's young Turnbull down there. Unfortunately not coming off for him on this occasion. The pass was a bit overcooked there towards Morrissey, but manages to find its way to Darragh O'Donovan, who takes a heavy blow to the chest and is down on his haunches after all of that, and the referee is going to call a halt to play there. The helmet is off, and he's down on the ground, and it just looked like he got a blow into the chest, and he's down there for a second. Chris O'Leary not happy because he was the man that had the ball, with team doctor is out there, and I'd say let's take the sensible course of action anyway.
Yeah, I suppose anything to the head, they have to stop the play. I think it was accidental, Cullum, just a clash of bodies. As you said, Chris O'Leary had the misfortune of being about to launch an attack, and Cork could badly do an attack at this stage, but once that helmet comes off, you've got to stop the play. I suppose anything like, I think Dara is fine, but yeah, Cork not really the second half, not able to match Limerick, to be honest with you. That's the bottom line here. The intensity has all come from Limerick in the second half.
Jerome Boylan being warmed up on the sideline. Eventually Chris O'Leary gets the chance to puck it down the field. Comes to naught though, and it's easily taken by the goalkeeper, and his willing target man is Diarmaid Burns. It was a great strike of the ball, and there was a runner inside looking for it. That was number 21, Garrod Hegarty, but was caught out, and it's back with Patrick Horgan. Opts to go short to a fellow substitute. And across the field there's Sean Toomey, and across the field shot to naught, and here come Limerick once again with Robbie Hanley. But a bit too much pace in that, and should be meeting spuds to Colin Spillane. Opts to go right across to his fellow cornerback Sean O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue aiming it down. Nice bit of a tussle here between Sean Toomey and the fullback Richie English. And ball eventually finds it back to the fullback from Doon. And he's going to go route one with that one. And unfortunately, from a Limerick perspective, it's taken up by O'Donoghue. And Bill Cooper. Oh, nice ball out as far as Horgan. Great shot by Horgan, just the power and the strength that he got up to that. And Sean Toomey tried to flick it off. He had Shane O'Regan inside him, but all he managed to do was to flick it out over the end line.
In fairness to Toomey and Turnbull, you'd have to say it's that absolute dominance that Limerick have in the middle third column. Is just the ball into them has been of no quality in the second half, to be honest. And even they brought Patrick Horgan out to wing forward now because he wasn't getting the ball inside there. And just the luxury of taking off Richie English now and Blood and Jerome Boylan, great bit of stuff from down the road, and the Piercy younger brother Connor, who was featured over the last couple of seasons, so he'll be thrilled as well to be getting his chance at this level.
Okay, we're entering the closing few minutes of the action here this afternoon. It's Robert Downey, excuse me, but he can only find Dan Morrissey. And here come Limerick again. It's just raining ball after ball down in terms of the attack down there. The man that's on the ball is Graham Mulcahy. He's offloaded it to David Reedy, runs into a red wall, back to Mulcahy off the left. That's going to be a great score. That is a great score from the corner forward from Kilmallock. Well, looks like it is going to be a Limerick double here at the LIT Gaelic grounds here this evening, unless we're going to get something spectacular down the final stretch. It's Limerick 129 to Cork's 20 points. And as Dalo said, the last 10, 15, 20 minutes really, it has been all Limerick. It's almost like that they've stepped up about 3 gears and Cork are still in second or third.
Yeah, they look much fitter, they look much stronger and that kind of thing. Now, we did say like Cork are down a lot of, the Dara Fitzgibbons, the Mark Colemans, the Shane Kingstons, these guys wrapped up in the Fitzgibbon and UCC meant to have a really strong team this year again, and they'll make a huge difference when they're available to them. But Limerick, massive strength and depth, you'd have to say.
Robbie Hanley has pushed it out to 130 to 20 points. Damien Cahalane is the man that's trying to get things going there. And as far as Shane O'Regan going right across the field there towards Sean Toomey from Corsi Rovers. Holds off a tackle. Nice little offload there by Toomey, but unfortunately it didn't work out for Aidan Walsh. And here comes Limerick again with Cian Lynch. Rides out 1 or 2 tackles trying to get the ball up into his hand, refusing to do so, and instead it's Cork who's going to come again with Damien Cahalane. First time effort again by Cahalane in towards Patrick Horgan. He's got assistance from the young Brian Turnbull from Douglas, 21 yards out, or not Turnbull in fact, it's the full forward, it's Seamus Harnedy. The green helmets confusing us up here, confusing me anyway, and that one has gone wide, so apologise to Seamus and to Brian for the confusion on that one.
More to Brian than Seamus.
Time I think, Dalo, as we're coming towards the end of the action here, to pick our man of the match this evening.
Yeah, I suppose it probably has to be a Limerick man overall, and the man who has the ball in his hand now, David Dempsey, would be a very strong contender. That's what a limp he's put that ball over the bar. And, Dave had all the standout guys, really. And I'd come down to 2, the man that's down injured now after scoring a wonderful point, and Barry Nash at wing back. I've been really, really impressed with him. And maybe if that score had gone over before you came to me, Colm, I might have gone for David, but I'm going to give it to Barry Nash. I think, just excellent all round tonight. Has seen off about 4 different opponents and scored from play and set up numerous plays. I think he got 2 from play himself and set up numerous, as well as breaking up Cork attacks. That's very impressed with him. I think he'll push very hard for his place in the half-back line.
Our Co-op Superstores man of the match this evening, picked by Anthony Daly, is the man wearing number 7, South Liberty's Barry Nash. Substitute coming on there, by the way, for Cork. It's Tommy O'Connell who's coming in, and it looks to be Sean Toomey from Corsi Rovers that's making way down there. Back with the action, back with Cian Lynch. This is another man that you'd love to have on your fantasy hurling team. He's been outstanding yet again tonight. And the even at this stage in the game, even with a lead of 131 to 20 points, Limerick refuse to give up. They're fighting and harrowing for every single ball that's there, and that probably is the mark of champions. Damien Cahalan rides 2 or 3 heavy tackles, manages to get it off, and he's pumping it in towards the corner forward position. 2 Limerick men chasing out of it. One of those Limerick men is the man wearing number 22. That's Barry O'Grady. He gets the touch, and that's knocking it out for a sideline. And it's Harnedy, Seamus Harnedy. Yeah, I am certain it's Seamus Harnedy on this occasion that's going to take it. Change of hurley. Is it a magic hurley that's going to get it across? No, it's going to only find it right into the chest of the goalkeeper, Barry Hennessy, who gives it to Dan Morrissey, and Morrissey has enough time to drop the ball and pick it up again before he gets the shot off, but he can only find his fellow centre-back Bill Cooper, and Cooper is going to return that and return it out and wide.
Yeah, there's just been too much of that from Cork, especially in the second half, wasteful in the ball. Dan Morrissey, not a good clearance there now. Mishit it really, was going for the long one right into full forward, but mishit it, gave it to Cooper, took on a shot, 10 yards inside his own 65 really, which is not a percentage shot anyway, but I suppose the game is gone from him at this stage, Colm, so they'll be putting that to bed. They'll just say it's done and dusted, we didn't have a full team, and they'll have the dander up when they do meet Limerick after tonight as well.
Okay, we've a Limerick player down on the ground. We'll keep an update on that, and it is our aforementioned Barry Nash, our man of the match, so hopefully he'll be okay to collect his piece of silverware from our Waterford Crystal from the Co-op Superstores. But Barry just off the ball there just seemed to have a bit of a bang. James Keating is the man that's coming on for Cork, and he's going to replace Colm Spillane. We mentioned Colm a little earlier in the game. Out of the game for the bones of about 2 years, accolades, back injuries, just one thing after another. So great to see him back.
And while look at all the full back line struggled a bit with the quality of ball that was going up to the likes of Graham Mulcahy and David Dempsey in the second half. I think he got through. What are we? 70 minutes gone now, and he got through his 70 minutes really well, and looks in good shape to me. And I think if I was Kieran Kingston, I'd be loving having him back. And there's a bit of solidity about that full back line with Cadigan and with Sean O'Donoghue. They're familiar with each other. They've all a lot of experience at this stage, so that could be close enough to the Cork full back line, I think, for the National League.
Okay, 131 to 20 points still. Seamus Harnedy taking the resultant free there. It was very interesting. He was looking to the sideline, looking for direction, whether to drop it in or to send it over. They just said aim route one. Big round of applause, by the way, for your selection of Barry Nash as man of the match here this evening. Bit of a tussle going on there between, it looks to be Garrod Hegarty, and he's tussling away there. Back with Robert Downey, the man wearing number 23, off camera, but sense has been restored. And let's get back to the hurling, and there's been plenty of fine hurling here tonight, plenty of talking points, and plenty of things to be looking forward to with the Allianz League now just 2 weeks away. But it's been all Limerick in this second half, and they're continuing their dominance with David Reedy. Great ball in by him in as far as Mulcahy opts to pump it back out as far as Hegarty, and Garrod Hegarty from distance has the Limerick fans applauding once more.
Yeah, and we said that early on, did a few wides, but it wouldn't affect any of them. And 132 is fair shooting they put up tonight. A great score by Hago there. We'll also be delighted with the run out, and obviously now the college days are behind him and that kind of thing. These fellas they're glad of that, because obviously the Fitzgibbon is huge while they're there. So he'll be throw off the cobwebs tonight now and get ready for 2 weeks' time.
Okay, here comes Damien Cahalan on the ball here now in front of us. Bit of pace by Cahalan over the 21, over the 14-yard line, but reinforcements coming from Dan Morrissey to try and knock him off, and he's blocked down, and it's Morrissey who's going to clear the lines there. Up in front of us here in the stand here, and it's gone through the legs of Chris O'Leary, touching off though in the end Darragh O'Donovan, and that's going to be a line ball to Cork in front of us, and it's Aidan Walsh who's going to take it. So we're entering the dying embers of this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League final here tonight, and with that is the final whistle from match referee Kevin Jordan of Tipperary, and the final score here, 1 goal and 32 points to Limerick. Cork 20 points, a double for the hosts in the LIT Gaelic grounds.
Yeah, I suppose a lot of people coming here to enjoy the double header. Cullen wouldn't have expected a double for Limerick. They might have expected the hurlers, but I suppose bonus territory with the footballers. But a massive win for the hurlers, really. 15 points. None of us envisaged that either coming in tonight. So, yeah, John Kiley has serious options coming into the league, and there's no doubt about that. This has been a real success for him. The Co-op Superstores Munster League, and they'll be delighted tonight. First bit of brass up for collection, and they've collected it.
Okay, Dalo, we're going to take a little break from your talents for a few moments, because we've another guest who's joining us here alongside me, and that's the executive of the Munster Council, Kieran Leddy. Kieran, congratulations. It has been a wonderful, wonderful competition.
It certainly has, and I suppose the pre-season competitions get a bit of bad press from time to time, but the reality is every county can decide whether they want to enter them or not. All counties want to enter them because they provide them with good good games, good challenges in the run-up to the leagues, and it's been a fantastic competition this year. There's been some superb games, and I'd say every manager will feel that they got a lot out of it, and it'll help them prepare for the league. So it's been a fantastic competition again. And the final tonight, although Limerick ran out easy winners in the end, but it was a great occasion. Over 5,000 people here for early January is a great crowd.
But we're talking attendances over 5,000 here tonight, but this wasn't a once-off. We were just talking there to Dalo in the course of the match commentary, over 3,000 people in a venue like 6 Mile Bridge.
That's right, and that was a brilliant occasion, and it was great for the 6 Mile Bridge club that we could host the game there. That's a real hurling heartland there, and there was 3,500 there. There was 3,000 in Fraher Field for the Waterford versus Cork game. So look, there is an appetite amongst the public for action, I suppose, particularly after Christmas. People are mad to get out in the fresh air again and get to a match. And we've had great games. There's been a lot of players tried. I think every manager will be happy that they've got a couple of selection options now coming into the league, and that's what it's about. That's what they want.
As you said, all the talking points the last couple of weeks have been negative regarding the pre-season competitions. What is the secret? Is it just the buy-in of the managers, or I suppose the fact that you have a big sponsor as well too is a huge help in terms of publicising it?
Yeah, certainly since the Co-op Superstores have come on board, it's given it a lift in terms of publicity and promotion. And this year all 6 counties have bought into it, and the football as well. We should bear in mind that the McGrath Cup final was played as a curtain raiser here, and we were delighted to be able to do the curtain raiser, and it was a huge win for Limerick, and that's a huge boost for Limerick football. They haven't won the competition in years, and that's a huge boost for them. And it was great. By the end of their game, there was almost 5,000 in the ground watching their competition as well. But the sponsors, Co-op Superstores, have been great. They've given it great publicity. I know that the CEO Jim Wolfe is a big GA man, loves his hurling as well, and they've certainly given it the profile. I think the fact too that it's 2 groups of 3. So every county is guaranteed 2 games, and if you get to the final, you have a third, obviously. But it's a 2-game commitment,
yes.
And I think that suits counties, particularly with all the the Fitzgibbon and everything going on. I think they can manage the 2 games, and I think that's the beauty of it. It's 2, possibly 3, and we also deliberately have the finals 2 weeks in advance of the league, so it gives them that bit of time to get ready for the league as well. And we also give them great freedom in terms of when they play the game. So this year Tipperary were heading on holidays, so they wanted to play their 2 games before they went, and we said that's fine. The counties that were playing agreed with that, and the same last year with Limerick. They played their 2 games before they left, and that was by agreement with the counties.
In terms this year now with the restructuring of the Sigerson and the Fitzgibbon, given there's a full round now of Sigerson tomorrow and Fitzgibbon, is it something that you might have to look at come 2020, 2021 in terms of your timings?
It is. I don't think there's much more we can do on the timing side of it, in the sense that ideally we wouldn't have games before Christmas. The pre-Christmas games are usually to facilitate a team going on holidays. We like to give the counties a bit of space between this and the league. But I think in fairness to the managers, they're putting out teams, and if players are playing Fitzgibbon and that, they're leaving them off the panels and that. So they're picking from their extended panel of maybe 40 to get their team together, and that's what it's there for. It's there to give guys that mightn't have otherwise got a chance to play inter-county, and we've been lucky. All the pitches have been in great condition, and the hurling has been fantastic. I mean, there was some phenomenal hurling played out there tonight for the
and not just tonight. And I think the great thing as well then with the live streaming is you're showing it to an expat audience that are crying out for matches.
I was actually following some of the comments, from Arizona, California, New York people logging on early in the morning so they could watch a match, and I think that's great when you're abroad. At this stage of the year, you can get this quality of hurling, and that's what people want, and we're delighted to be able to do it. I think the live streaming has worked really well and was complimentary on the quality of it. I've watched a good bit of it myself for games I couldn't make, and I thought the quality of the stream, of the commentary, of the co-commentary and everything was outstanding. So well done to everybody involved.
Thank you for that. Now, the Munster Senior Hurling Championships, the last 2 years have been just incredible.
Yes.
How can you keep matching it?
Well, I suppose the great thing about hurling, every time we think we've seen the best game of all time, the next best game of all time follows us. That's the way it's been with hurling. I suppose last year we had a number of exceptional performances and teams winning by bigger margins. The year before we probably had a tighter championship, and that's the Munster Championship. You just don't know what you'll get on any day. I think it's going to be a phenomenal competition again this year. Obviously, Tip are All-Ireland champions. They want to retain their title. Limerick want to come back into it. Cork will be looking to finally get over the hill, and Clare and Waterford as well. So I think it's going to be fantastic again.
Okay. We look forward to it. Kieran, thank you so much for your time and for joining us up here. That's the CEO of the Munster Council, Kieran Leddy, joining us here this evening. Dalo, we're going to bring you back in here, and we have a special guest joining us as well. I'm going to stand here in the middle. Barry Nash, our wing back, and Dalo, you can stand over here on the other side. Dalo, you were the man that picked the man of the match. Why is this man here next to me picking up the award, apart from the fact that you know his dad well?
Yeah, too well. I knew the net. Well, I always try and give it to number 7 if I can, Colum, That's, but no, look, it's interesting. I suppose the two I picked out was Barry or David Dempsey, and we just announced Barry there live on air, and David gets a point on one knee. So it's good timing. No, I really impressed him since he went back, since he came on against Kilkenny, I have to say. Presume he's enjoying it back there. It's going well for him, so I think.
Okay. So, yeah, Barry has been going well. We were singing your praises here before Christmas. You were playing centre back. Is number 7 on the wing your preferred option?
I suppose, look, I'm happy anywhere on the field, to be honest with you. I just love being out in the field and playing a game of hurling, so if wherever I'm picked, I'll play now, so happy out there.
No, we were just talking there with Kieran Leddy and with Dalo about pre-season. It's getting a lot of criticism in other provinces, but there's a real appetite for it here in Munster.
Yeah, look, I suppose for ourselves anyway, we were kind of a bit bitter after the way things ended last year, so we were couldn't wait to get back into Rakiel and back working hard. So look, we're delighted to be back out hurling, and as much hurling as we can get into us. That's the thing that we're looking for.
Okay. Yeah. So how do you keep that appetite, that hunger going year on year on year?
I suppose from when the All Ireland back in 2018 was the big thing for us. It really gave us an extra hunger to go on, and we're a really motivated bunch, and we just want to win as many All Irelands as we can while we can.
Yeah. And that is the viewpoint, that Limerick aren't going to be happy with 2018.
No, not our group of lads anyway. We're a very motivated bunch, and look, we'll be looking forward to the rest of the year now.
Okay. So in terms of you, the next couple of weeks, all about the league. Do you have any college commitments, or?
No, I'm finished with the college now. I'm out working in the big bad world now. So.
Okay. Do you want to mention where you are working for our people watching tonight?
Park Aviation out in Shannon. Yeah, that's where I'm working now at the moment. Yeah.
Shares in Park Aviation are just soaring as a result. Dale, do you want to in before we leave Barry go?
I mean, I suppose that Barry won't be telling us too much tonight now. There'll be bigger stuff in his mind, but just interesting his outlook on the change back to defence and out forward. We'd have known you as up along, just going back there and the change and your thinking and all that, and marking a man and that sort of thing.
I know, look, I spent a lot of time with Shawnee O'Donnell and talking to the likes of Dermot, Dan and Deck, who've been there obviously, and they've been playing there for a long time, and just speaking to the boys, they've given me lots of advice and given me great confidence going forward, so. And it's a different outlook as well. You're attacking the ball, you're facing the ball, which is kind of another thing you kind of have to deal with. And I actually really enjoy facing the ball.
Okay. Very good. Now, do we have something to give to Barry here, or has the presentation has already been received? I'm sure that you'll have a few more to add to the mantelpiece in the years ahead. Barry, congratulations, our Co-op Superstores man of the match, Barry Nash, South Liberties, and receiving some nice bit of. The lads are going to have to do a photo. We'll just move over here to the side here, Dalo. He's just receiving some nice bit of Waterford crystal, I think, for his troubles. Okay, Dalo, just tonight and the competition in general, great to see. And I'll tell you, if that didn't whet the appetite for the Alliance League, what would?
Yeah, like, you know, I know myself from being involved, like in the management side of it, Colm, this time of the year, you're probably off looking for good challenge matches. You might play in one of the colleges, you're trying out maybe one of the club finalists or semi-finalists. But like, look at the 3 games Limerick have gotten out of this, like, you know, 2 here and out into 6 Mile Bridge as well, where there's a fantastic atmosphere. And you know, I think if any team has really, you know, gained out of the Co-op Munster League, it has to be Limerick. Like, and not just they've collected the prize, but you know, they met their 3 biggest rivals, I suppose, in lots of ways, and saw them all off comfortably. So they're in a great position going into the start of the year.
Okay, so let's rank it right here in January. You have Limerick number 1 in Munster. Where are we going after that?
Yeah, well, I suppose you'd have to say the All-Ireland champions, you know, or the All-Ireland champions, and you'd have to allow, you know, they put up a fair battle here before Christmas. We were here in the cold before they went off on their holidays, and you'd have to say Tip. I think I'd slightly have, you know, always after winning the All-Ireland, there's a whole pile of celebrations and, you know, holidays and that. Limerick wouldn't have had, they had a small holiday before Christmas and a lot of distractions out of the way, and I think they would be deservedly maybe be the one. It's very hard now to say that the All-Ireland champions wouldn't be one. Just allowing for the celebrations, for the various events and holidays that have to take place, that you would say Limerick have a start on everybody. No, Tip will make up that ground, there's no doubt about that. You know, the other 3 in Munster, we don't really know, do we? You know, we all know they've got 2 very good games out of the Munster League, but
impossible to call Cork tonight given the college commitments.
Absolutely, I think, but there'll still be a bit of head scratching for Kieran going down the road. You know that some of the guys that have been there before maybe and have got lots of chances didn't really excel tonight, to be honest, and he will be looking at a few positions and saying, I would have thought now, funny, when you concede 132, you think the full back line maybe got a riddling, but I actually thought the full back line, you know, held up as with an avalanche of ball going into them. Graham Mulcahy eventually cut loose near the end all right, and the goal was a Gillan special, I suppose, you know, 50-50 high ball, and he's just so knacky and deadly. Like he times his catch so brilliantly. He's not the biggest man, but he just has that reach and that kind of his timing on his catching, to me, Colm, is absolutely superb. And he caught Cadogan for that one, but they had a great battle, and we laughed, and John took him off for a finish. But yeah, for Cork, yeah, we know the guys, they have to come back in. I mean, they're household names at this stage with fantastic underage careers behind them, so he'd be very hopeful that they can bring that, but they'll need to.
And then finally 2 new management teams, one in Waterford and one in your native Clare.
Yeah, and like I think the Waterford Cork game was a really good game. I wasn't at it, but you know, just from following it and reading about it in the Examiner the following day, it seemed to have been a great contest, and Waterford a bit unlucky maybe not to come out with a win. So, you know, they beat Kerry. Clare, yeah, Brian, you know, again, I know well that it's very experimental, early doors and finding their feet, getting to know lads as well, you know. I know he was here tonight having a good look, and he, you know, you're learning on the job. It's Brian's first job of this magnitude. An icon in Clare in loads of ways, so he will get that bit of time and space to bed in, and he'll be looking for the guys from 13 now to show real leadership, the fellas with All-Ireland medals in their pockets, to show the leadership now and bring on that younger brigade that he has brought in, and indeed that Jerry and Donald brought in over the last 3 years, and they'll be looking at that. So yeah, exciting times, I suppose, for Clare and Waterford as well, you know, and Kieran coming back with Cork. So yeah, look, I mean, Munster is just mouth-watering. They have great crack with Jackie Terrell. He always thinks Leinster is better, obviously, and I'd be always saying, well, the winners of the All-Ireland will come from Munster, and since we've gone to the new system, you know, that has been the sort of fruits of that over the last couple of years. So maybe again we get a great Munster Championship and we get a Munster winner in the All-Ireland series.
Okay, Dalo, as always, my thanks for your company here tonight and over the course of the competition. That is where we're going to have to end our broadcast of the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League Final and indeed the competition. Thanks to everyone involved, to the sponsors, the Co-op Superstores, to Raf and Jack, who've been on the technical side of things, and to the Munster Council, to Kieran and Ed and everyone behind the scenes. Thanks also to Dalo for all his hard work as well. And finally, thank you at home for watching, and thanks as well for all the kind comments and feedbacks over the course of the competition. Well, that's where we're going to leave it tonight. Limerick, not just champions of hurling, but champions of football in Munster. Let's see how that storyline is going to develop in the course of Championship 2020. From all of us here in the LIT Gaelic Grounds in Limerick tonight, good night and God bless.